in this vlog, we're gonna finish the book. So if you're new here, I've been working on a new adult romantasy book nicknamed Project the Wall for the last like almost 6 months. So I wanted to start this vlog now because we have 2 chapters left in the manuscript according to my outline, and I have my friends Dustin and Mick over tonight. So we're gonna do a little bit of a writing date, and I want to be able to work on this book, but at this point it's like I cannot work on the book without filming because I have that little left, and I really want to capture the end of me working on this project. If this is the first time that you're watching one of my writing vlogs, this is, like I said, a new adult romantasy, enemies to lovers, dystopian vibes. It's a journey book. It follows the main character Rhea and the love interest Varen. Currently, the manuscript is sitting just over 70,000 words. Hold on, I want to get my little tracker. One moment. Okay, so if you guys know my process, you know that I track my word count in little trackers. So I created one for camp. Honestly, I might not even use the whole thing because of how little we have left, but I have 4 bubbles on this one, and I went with black and green since that's sort of the color scheme of the book. And we have 4 bubbles for 4K words, 1K words per bubble. Yeah, we landed at 70,510 words at the end of March. Completed our 10K word goal, which was exciting. And then this is my overall chapter spread. These 2 chapters are actually no longer relevant because as I started drafting the end of the book, I realized that a lot of chapters I had outlined could be consolidated, meaning that we only really have chapter 42 and 43 left to finish off this spread, and then these 2 I'll black out. But yeah, this is really exciting. Excited for this writing day. I'm gonna be ordering boba, of course. I love ordering boba on these little Monday night writing dates, but I'm really excited because Mick is also in the middle of working on her project for Camp Nano, so the vibes are gonna be really motivating. We're both gonna be writing, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into the writing. I'm so excited to finish this freaking manuscript. It has been so fun, and I cannot wait to have a finished product. I can't wait to jump into revision. Like, yeah, the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. Welcome into the writing vlog. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and let's get writing. Yay! Exciting moment. Honestly. Satisfying. Would you like to be critique partners?
Oh my god. That's so scary. I mean, I don't have anything for you to critique yet.
But like eventually?
Sure, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Wait, isn't that kind of exciting though? Okay, but I feel like we can trust each other to be like kind.
Yeah.
Like helpful but kind.
Yeah.
I feel like my world building is flat, but I think it's also because I'm pantsing.
Yeah.
So I'm like
that's the kind of thing you can beef up in revision.
I'm like, what does this city look like?
I was like kind of coming up with like mini goals for each chapter. But obviously like sometimes filler chapters are important too.
Yes. Processing chapters.
Mm-hmm.
But I was realizing, and I think it's partially because I'm writing chapters on different days, but I'm like, after she gets kidnapped, doesn't think about it ever again. Like, maybe I have some trauma here. So let's chat about the last writing session we did, which was my little writing date with Mick and Dustin. First of all, it was super productive. I got about 1,500 words. Word count is starting not to matter as much because I don't have a concrete goal for April, but also because right now I'm just gauging my progress on how many chapters do I have left, how close am I to the ending, like when are we finishing this? So I would say I pretty much crossed almost half the distance between me and the finish line in that last session, which was really exciting. I think we maybe have maybe 3,000 words left in the manuscript. We'll talk a little bit about what's like kind of left for me to write in a bit, but the ideas for book 2 have started flowing like crazy. I feel like the floodgates have opened these last few days, especially. Before it was like I would get an idea for book 2 like once a month, like really not commonly, and it was very mysterious. Now it's like I'm getting ideas for book 2 every day, and it almost feels like I'm just as in the story of book 2 as I am in the story of book 1. They kind of both feel like a lot more fluid, which is great, and it feels really aligned with what has happened in book 1, which is really nice that I haven't had any realizations of like, oh god, all of this has to change to set up for book 2. That's not been the experience at all. The last like 3 chapters are kind of post-climax of the book, and they're really focused on setting up for book 2, and I didn't even entirely think of it that way. It felt very much like what I needed to do to wrap this book up, but it also perfectly is establishing the new setting and some new characters that are going to be important in book 2, and gives us a little bit of context into what they're doing next. So that's like really exciting to write, and it feels very important. I also have changed the number of characters that I want to introduce at the end several times. I'm trying to avoid having too many characters to the point where the reader is forgetting a lot of who the characters are. I know I've had that experience as a reader where I'm reading names that are mentioned and I'm like, who is that again? I don't remember them. And I'm wary of falling into that, especially with a sequel. So I'm like trying to manage how many people I'm introducing at the end of book one. Originally it was going to be 4 or 5 new characters that they meet up with. Now I'm thinking it might only be 2. I had 3 in the current way that I wrote the chapters. Now I'm thinking it's 2. I need to decide whether I want to cut out that character now or in revision. Probably in revision, to be totally honest, since it will require me going back a couple chapters. But I basically realized that 2 of the characters could be consolidated. Neither one of them were that interesting on their own. Like they each had a purpose, but they weren't like fleshed out. But if I combine the purpose of both of those characters, I think I can make a lot stronger of a character. And I also realized that the character I'm cutting now had a very similar personality and sort of function as like the comedic relief, the little bit of the wild card, as a different character that was earlier in the book. And since I'm planning to bring that character back in book 2, I'm like, I don't need 2 characters with identical personalities that would say the same type of thing, both present. I am planning to bring back a lot of characters that were introduced in book 1 into book 2, characters that we kind of left behind during book 1. I won't get specific for no spoilers, but that's a plan that I have. So I've basically realized that when everyone comes together in book 2, which will be cool, there's gonna be like eight of them in this squad. I'm like, that is plenty to be all in one group. I was using ACOTAR as a reference, and when their big group all comes together, I think it's about 8 characters. So I'm like, okay, I think that's a manageable amount. I think if I had kept the other characters though, and it was like 10, that would start to get a little crazy. So yeah, we're just trying to like be a little strategic, not add in characters just for the sake of them. And I really like the personalities of the characters I developed earlier in the book. They feel really concrete and like real people to me, and I can see how they would be interesting in book 2. So I'm like, I care more about keeping those than introducing more characters now. I mean, I really just don't need to. You know, that writing advice that's always like, if a character doesn't have to be there, cut them. If a scene doesn't have to be there, cut it. I always like am trying to figure out where I fall in that sort of range. I think I really am somewhere in the middle where I'm trying to be purposeful with the scenes, making sure that they're accomplishing something with the characters, making sure that they serve some sort of purpose, but also not to the detriment of the story where I'm like slicing out any personality from the book. Does that make sense? So in terms of some of the stuff that needs to happen in these last 2 chapters, one of them is really an emotional resolution, and then the second one is more of a logistical resolution, I would say. Ooh, I didn't even think of it that way before I said it that way, but that's really what it is. The first chapter is like the resolution between our main character and love interest, them getting kind of back on the same page. I'm still trying to figure out how much I want the romance to materialize in book 1 versus in book 2, and how on the page I want it to be. In book 1, I feel like it will be more exciting if they don't quite get together until book 2. Like obviously there's still romantic moments and it's pretty clear that's where things are heading, but I feel like there's something to be said for picking up book 2 and there's still this sort of tension so that the romance plot kind of continues into book 2 and doesn't just start off perfect, end perfect in book 2. Like I want the building to still be happening, but then I also don't want readers to be reading this and be like, where is the romance? Like you're saying this is a romantasy, a fantasy romance, where is it? Because I understand that sentiment too. The second scene, like I said, is the logistical resolution. So it really clearly says, what is book 2 about? What are they doing in book 2? So I'm actually really happy with that as sort of my like resolution chapters. I hope that it's the right amount between, you know, somewhat wrapping up the book quickly after the big climax or whatever, but also providing enough information on what can be expected in book 2, because this is very much so a duology and the first book in a sense stands alone, but at the same time, not really. I do want to wrap it up so that it does feel like a complete novel when you finish it, you know what I mean? And that's why I think it's important for me to have these resolution scenes of where are the characters now, how did they patch things up. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts. I'm feeling really good about the project still. I'm feeling more excited than ever. I'll talk to you guys next time I write. Okay, bye. Hello. We are currently packing up my bag to go to a coffee shop to do some writing. It's Saturday morning. Is today the day that we finish the manuscript? Maybe. Not sure. but it is definitely possible. And I kind of want it to be. I think tonight's the night. I think today is the day. I also just got a notification that I'm monetized on YouTube, which feels crazy that potentially I could have reached monetization and finished the book on the same day. That's just really cool. So thank you guys so much for watching my videos and supporting the channel, because like I can't believe that we're already monetized. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna do like the full 9 yards today. So I'm gonna spray my replica lemon scent. Nope. So I'm gonna spray my replica lemon scent. This is the scent for this book. We decided this in my trying different ways to get in the zone video. I'm trying to be as sentimental about this ending as possible, so you know we had to do this. And I'm also wearing my A Court of Thorns and Roses sweatshirt, which one is the series that inspired me to get back into writing, and two, I was wearing this sweatshirt in the first ever video on this channel when I announced that I was gonna be working on this project. The full circle moments are aligning. I'm gonna listen to the book playlist on the way to the coffee shop, and then we're gonna have a serious session. I don't think we'll finish the book in this session. I'm only planning to go to the coffee shop for like an hour, but I think tonight is when the book will be finished.
Cut.
What'd I do wrong?
The walk was too fast. Take two.
Hello. It is update time. So I wrote a little under 500 words at the coffee shop, nothing crazy, but I actually realized that I needed to change some things about how the chapter was currently sitting. It wasn't anything like ridiculous. I just needed to change what certain characters were doing to make a little bit more sense. Yeah, we're not in a super crazy part of the chapter right now. It's nothing crazy, but like the logistics needed to make sense of where the characters were in order to properly set up for the big conversation that's like the point of the scene. So I was just like reconfiguring some of that. I've had to do quite a bit of that in these last few chapters, moving pieces of dialogue around to a different part of the chapter. It's been a lot of that kind of stuff going on, and now we're in like a really good place because they're about to go have this conversation. So what I write next will be this like pivotal emotional conversation, and I'm feeling ready to write that. I'm gonna go over to the park, so I'm gonna bring some little peach iced tea that I currently have like brewing over in the kitchen, and then I'm weirdly really craving a live stream tonight, which I haven't really craved or done in months, but for some reason it just feels right tonight. I want to like make hot cocoa and do a live stream, so I think I might schedule that, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of writing during the live stream. I don't want to finish the book during the live stream, but I don't think I'm like close to being at risk for that, because I really just want to finish the book like by myself with you guys on the camera, but not like on a live stream. We're almost at 2,000 words for the month, which is like pretty much halfway to our word count goal for April, but like we've discussed, the word count goal is somewhat arbitrary, but I would say it seems pretty accurate. Also random, but if any of you guys who also make writing videos ever want to co-host a live stream, that'd be really fun. Let me know. DM me over on my Instagram, Brielle is Writing. We can chat about the details, but I think that'd be so fun. Also, we have to bring back the photo booth updates, obviously, in this final vlog. I'm all about the full circle moments, and I did switch from one cream sweatshirt to another cream sweatshirt. Sometimes it'd be like that. Those are the vibes today. So we didn't make it outside, clearly. I took one look at the document and I was sucked back in. And now we're straight up like going for it. I've written over 400 words since I started sitting on this couch. And we're in the heat of the conflict, so I'm not going to talk much, but we're going to write in here. It started raining, so going outside is no longer an option, but I have my peach iced tea. The vibes are good. It's rainy outside, which is perfect. I didn't even notice that it started raining because I was that in the zone. I think I'm going to even light this candle, and like, let's just commit. I think this chapter is going to be done soon. Soon. up the character pictures so I can stare at them while I'm writing the dialogue and make sure that they sound like what they would say. Writing has been writing. I finished chapter 42, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in my little chapters tracker. I'm so happy right now. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the water draining outside, but if you can, kind of a vibe. I wrote chapter 42, I wrote the big emotional scene, and I'm like overall pretty happy with it, which like is crazy. Like, yes, it's going to need to be cleaned up in revision, but the bones are there. I really like went in on it, you know what I mean? This was not one of those chapters where I just put something in there for now and I'm gonna really decide the dialogue and stuff later. At least I don't think it is. I actually sat there and rewrote lines over and over until I was happy with them. So like that scene feels really solid at this point. The only thing I still have to decide, and again, this will come when the beta readers come, is does the scene turn to spice? Or does it stay with nothing going down between the characters? I don't know. As I have it written right now, it does not turn to spice, but it could easily if that is where the readers feel like it should go. So that feels really good. Now, chapter 43, I already have 800 words in. So I already wrote a decent amount of this on Monday. With the amount that I have left, it's really only one scene. Yeah. Like, I'm just like mind blown because we're so close to being done with the book. We're finishing it tonight because I'm so in it right now. I'm so in it. I'm feeling like the emotions. I'm like in the flow that I'm like, we're finishing it. There's no way I'm stopping right now. I just feel like I feel so much more emotionally attached to the story when I work on it in big chunks like this instead of like a tiny bit here and there, you know? So we're gonna keep going with it. I also now am at 3,605 words for the month, so I can color in both the 2K and the 3K bubbles here. We're almost done. I'm like sweating. We're definitely gonna hit 4,000 words, probably the next sprint that I do, and then maybe we'll hit 5,000 words for camp, and then that'll be the book. And then I'm gonna do a final word count of the full draft for you guys. So I'm like, it's gonna feel so much more real when I like hold a printed out version, but it's just mind blowing. This is the first full length novel I've ever written. When I started this project, I like don't even know if I really like thought or believed that I would like finish a draft. Like, this is a book. Yes, it needs to be cleaned up, but overall, am I really happy with it? Yeah. Like, do I think it's solid? Do I think it can be good? Yeah. I'm really proud of it, actually. And I love these characters. I love the plot. I'm like getting chills talking about it. Writing that scene between the two love interests was like really full circle moment, really special. And there were lots of like little miscellaneous pieces of dialogue and like little things I wanted to happen throughout the scene that I wasn't sure how they would fit together. And I was a little bit worried I wouldn't even be able to make all of them work, but I was able to weave them all into the scene. So I have all these little pockets of dialogue and stuff that I really loved that I was able to incorporate in a way that still feels like a natural progression. I can't wait to read it. Like, I genuinely can't wait to read it. The fact that I can read 43 chapters that I wrote and it's a full story arc, like crazy. I'm like, and the rain, like I'm literally gonna start like sobbing. It's just so perfect. This feels like the perfect night to finish the project. And I'm so glad I have no plans tonight. So I'm like, let me fully indulge in this. Let me soak it up and enjoy it. This is like a huge moment for me and it feels really good to just be like spending it with myself. Do you know what I mean? Okay, hi, I'm about to make dinner. I scheduled a live stream. I'm going live in half an hour. So I didn't want to leave too much time. To be honest, I'm kind of scared to do anything else besides write right now because I'm kind of in the zone. And I'm like, I don't want to mess that up. So I'm not doing anything that requires attention. I'm not going to like watch anything or work on anything else really until I finish the book. I know for some people word count can be really hard to conceptualize, especially if you aren't used to it. So I've been using this book as a reference. So this is The Marionettes by Kitty Wismer. First of all, love this book. Incredible and amazing. And I also got this spray painted version. How gorgeous. Anyway, this is 71,000 words for reference. It's a pretty big book in terms of like sheer surface area. But yeah, this is 71,000 words. And I think with the writing we just did, we're probably sitting around 74K right now. So we are past the length of this book. Yep. It's crazy. And it's only gonna get longer with revision, so it's definitely gonna be substantially longer than this, but that's just like a reference in case you're like, that means nothing to me. How much have you really written? I've written about this much, which feels substantial to me at least. Just got off the live stream. Are you guys ready to finish this book? Okay. I just wrote the ending. Well, that's it. That's the entire freaking book. Oh my god. Okay, should we count up the word count? Where did I end off when I was tracking previously? Let's see. Okay, I wrote 595 more words since we last discussed word count. Puts us at 4,200 words exactly for the month. I feel really good about this book. Being on the live stream and seeing everyone's like genuine interest and excitement to read it and asking questions about it. It was just so special. It doesn't feel real. I think maybe it'll feel more real when I read it. When I read it and it's a book, like it's a whole book. I think that's when it'll settle in. But yeah, 43 chapters. Let's see what our final word count ended up being. Total word count of draft 1 is 74,847 words. I'm gonna color in this final bubble for April. She's done. The book is done. Thank you guys so much for coming along for this final vlog and for the journey of this project in general. It does not end here. Soon we'll be diving into revision, but I want to take a moment to really sit in this accomplishment. This is the first full-length book I've ever written. I think it's good. I'm really proud of it. I'll talk more about some of my takeaways and reflections in the future, but even with all the changes that I know I need to and want to make, like, I like it. Like, I really like it. I'm really proud of myself. I grew as a writer a lot from when I started this book. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I cannot wait to share it with you guys and for it to be in your hands. But yeah, I just don't think it's registered yet. I'm gonna have to like sit in this and like tell everyone I know now that I did it. It's so crazy. I've been giving all my friends real-time updates as I work on this project, and yeah, I'm just excited to share that it's done. I just can't believe that like the entire skeleton is here. Like, yes, things need to be worked on. Yes, revision is going to happen, but this book is on paper. Like, I'm not gonna have to face a blank page again with this project. It's there. The whole thing. The end is there. I've never written an ending in my life. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. We finished the freaking book.